I've always prided myself as kind of being the bottom of the funnel type of guy. So the guy that can catch everything, the things that can seep through the cracks. And I'm a big believer in understanding your role when it comes to coaching, and I think that's kind of always been my motto for myself. I'm not always worried about the next job. I want to do a great job in the position or the job I'm in now, and then let whatever doors may open from there. I never thought it'd be with the Chicago Bulls. I never thought it'd be at Iowa State. And I think I've gotten in those situations just by doing a good job and trying to bring a good work ethic and be a good teammate as far as a coach goes every day. Nate Loenser, I'm assistant coach with the Chicago Bulls. Born and raised from Cedar Falls, Iowa. I've been a lifelong just sports fanatic. I played baseball, basketball, football, and golf in high school. I ended up playing baseball at Iowa State, but I've always had a passion for sports, and I always knew that I wanted to get into coaching. My coaching path, I like to describe it as non-linear. I've had some ups and downs and twists and turns as far as maybe not being a player or taking a more traditional route. I started out as a high school coach, actually at my alma mater in Cedar Falls. I did that for a year, and then I moved to Ames, where I went to school at Iowa State, and spent 2 years there. And in being there, I met Larry Eustace and his staff because they were coaching at Iowa State. Later, they ended up getting a job at the University of Southern Mississippi, and there happened to be a position available on their staff, and I spent 6 years at Southern Miss. I missed Iowa, so I moved back to Iowa. And then from there was an opportunity to join Fred Hoiberg at Iowa State. I already had a very good defensive background. Getting a chance then to work for 2 years with Fred at Iowa State was just a great experience. And then from there, when Fred got the opportunity to go with the Chicago Bulls and he asked me to come, it wasn't easy leaving Iowa State, but if there was one organization, at least initially, that made some sense, was obviously going to the Chicago Bulls. Some of the same things I tell my players, I've tried to live myself, especially as a young coach. The whole saying, you have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so you listen twice as much. So I did a lot of observing and a lot of listening, especially early. The thing I've always been a big believer in is that coaching is teaching. I have a teaching background from college, but to me, leadership and teaching and being able to relate to whoever your learner is a big component. I want to be the best dad and the best husband that I can be. I have 2 little ones. I have a going to be 3-year-old and a going to be 1-year-old, and my wife as well. So, those 3 people are first and foremost. They're my motivation for why I'm into coaching. It's not easy to leave them and do what we have to do, but the biggest thing that I've found, and I think it's very important, is making sure that when it's work time, I work, but when it's time to be a dad, then I'm a dad. And sometimes, and I think anybody has a situation, they want more time with their kids and they want to spend as much time as possible with them, but the thing that I work on constantly is to try to be in the present and aware of what they need so that they grow and they blossom as people as well. I don't take for granted that, my ultimate title is to be a husband and a dad.